Again, good afternoon to everybody. I'm a practicing architect as introduced by Madam since 1986. And I'm thankful to the lady who introduced me, and also to Kirti ma'am who followed up with me to make this presentation and inspired me to get into this opportunity to share my recently acquired knowledge about BIM, which I find it to be very, very much futuristic and very much essential for the future generation. I am 60 years old. I feel that my life should go on uh, motivating people to making the eco environments as best as possible. In that direction, I found this way of BIM, which is very effective in giving efficient buildings to the global, and also it can fight the required energy required to fight the global warming, and also it will work against climate change that is happening. This is my thought before I get into. So anyway, all the speakers, I have gone through all the uh, presentations. I was very happy and it was quite enlightening. Everybody has explained about 17 sustainable goals, out of which we are today tackling the, the 11th the 11th one, which is also related to housing, affordable housing. So let us now get into some basics which is already explained in the previous presentation also. 11th goal is something very, very important considering the city, considering the development of cities across the world. Anyway, we are going to have some discussion, some knowledge sharing to make the cities and human settlement inclusive. So, as I told you, my motivation is that people should understand how to make the most efficient building, which is not so as I have seen over a period of time, 3 decades, 3.5 decades I have practiced, and I have always found there was no opportunity for people to make the best thing that they can, which is now getting streamlined into a sort of a system and a process wherein you may not have any option to avoid making a good building, good eco project. So, what is this AECOs in the what is the future of this AECO? AECO is architecture, engineering, and construction company. It could be divided into architecture, engineering, construction, or it could all be in one company. So, talking about I'm going to open out a video wherein there is some proper information about what
attendance हवी आहे ना कांतेश तुला
somebody
attendance
has
हवी
to.
होती ना
Hello, excuse me. Somebody has to
attendance
mute.
दिली ना
Hello. 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 Am I audible? Somebody has to mute their mic, I think. Hello. Am I audible now?
yes sir you are audible
There is a video. I hope everybody is seeing the video and also audible.
And moving the job site into a new era. Imagine the possibilities that exist for transforming the business of construction. This is the future of making things. Autodesk led the shift from the drafting table to the computer screen, launching the era of documentation over 30 years ago. Advances in digital technologies led to building foundation modeling and the era of optimization. Projects can be visualized and simulated before breaking ground. Mobile devices, the power of the cloud, and big data are changing everything and ushering in the era of connection. In this new era, the boundaries between design and build, planning and execution, construction and operations are disappearing. In the era of connection, BIM, information modeling, improves predictability and reduces project risk by putting data at the center to connect teams, insight, delivery, and assets. Data in the cloud brings together designers, contractors, and subs and puts information in the center of the project. Connected teams stay the same from the office to the job site and can quickly resolve issues and improve outcomes. Connected delivery extends digitization to the construction site, facilitating work efficiency, quality, and safety. Design intent is translated into flawless execution that saves time and money and reduces risk. Sites captures, creates, and computes enormous data sets to align planning to performance. Stakeholders can also learn from operational data gathered across the entire project lifecycle. With connected assets, operational data is collected and made available from construction through ownership to prioritize maintenance and plan future improvements. Welcome to the next era in construction, the era of connection, where BIM forms the foundation for success. Are you ready?
So this is a small introduction to BIM, wherein we find a proper information about what is possible out of BIM. BIM is a set of technologies, processes, and policies enabling multiple stakeholders to collaboratively design, construct, and operate a facility in virtual space. This is the definition that we see in the dictionary. So when we started our career, we were all doing manual drawing, which was called the language of our industry. Then we got into this AutoCAD, and now it is BIM. It has not caught up so much in India, but I'm sure that it is going to be the language for our future generations. So BIM is something which is absolutely futuristic, and we need to take it forward to ensure that our next generations are not only trained, but also given the opportunity to catch up with the data and details which the projects will have for them to lead a good life. So this was in 1963 that RIBA, Royal Institute of British Architects, they started thinking about something like this, but it has taken so much of a year, so many years, almost close to 57, 58 years. I was born in 1962. 57 to 58 years it has taken to come to this stage, wherein almost all the developed countries are developing their projects and they are totally committed to this BIM technology. The basis of BIM data dates back to 1975 when Charles M. Easton, an American professor, published his description of a working prototype in the AIA Journal. The article described the interactive defined elements where the information about maps, facades, perspectives, and sections are combined in the same document. This is the basis of BIM, wherein everything is enriched, is enriching a simple model which will define the whole project for its lifespan. And it is going to create a situation wherein there won't be any paper. It's going to be paperless. The technology, the detailings, and the simulations and the research or whatever you do will all be documented and enriched and enrich that particular model, which will remain maybe close to 70, 80 years till the building is considered as debris. So this is the way It looks symbolically. So when we start, this is how the building detailing starts, and then it gets into a shape, and then gets enriched with with the details which are very essential, and then it gets constructed, and then it is maintained, and then it transforms itself as an asset. So this detailing over a period of time will develop as a healthy set of details, that is called, which is called a model, which can take care for or take care of the future generation for its proper maintenance. So there is the relations are defined in different way. Anyway, in future slides you'll be able to understand all these things. So these are the 5 levels of digital twins, almost on the same lines of the previous slide. It is almost the same, but I don't think we need to read it. It is all something available. And these are the technologies which are related to BIM. It is everything. It is everything related to make the building the most efficient. All the recent technologies, all the recent softwares, everything possible. I mean, a lot of uh, instruments, everything like laser scanner, drones. All these things are involved in making this model. So these are the nations which are already very much ahead in in the utilizing uh, BIM technology. India is definitely, as on now, factory of BIM, wherein we are getting the models done, but the technology is not properly used. Properly, properly, it has to be used, but it is unfortunate that we are not able to understand the real like the advantages that BIM has got. We need to be here as a fraternity of architects, as a fraternity of AECO group, has to really take it forward for the next generation to understand. These countries are all totally ahead. 60, 70 countries are already ahead. In fact, there is national digitization going on in UK, in Australia, in Singapore, and many of the European countries, which shows their understanding of BIM and its advantages. India has to understand, even though we have been working on the models only up to a level of 100, which is most preliminary. See, this is the level of development and detailing. This is the preliminary design which we are always used to making, and this is many a times we can in fact complete the project using this preliminary design, and this is what has been misused by the general public, by the government everywhere, because experts are not recognized and properly used. Then it is LOD 200, which is schematic, and then LOD 300, it is detailed design. It is architectural detailed design, which defines every aspect of the project. And then comes the construction document. See, after the detailed design has been done, then we need the drawings, the document, the contractor, and so many things. All these documents are considered. Then it is a very matured level of LOD 350, which will have complete details about the project. And then it is LOD 400, wherein when the execution is going on, there are a lot of parameters to be followed as defined by RIBA, as defined by the standards, which will be shown to you in the future slides. Then it is LOD 500, which is as built. That is, whatever happens on the site, that is, whatever changes that happens on the site will all be reloaded into the model, which was at LOD 350, 400, and then it gets enriched, and then the final output will come, which is LOD 550, facilities, data integration, management, and also it involves in training. So that will be a ready set of information and a model and the complete detail for the facility management. That is LOD 550. So it is basically the same thing. And now these are all the stakeholders who are involved in this teamwork. See, previously it was like this. An architect used to design and used to manage everything, everything. I mean, a structural engineer used to be a part of the office, and that is the way it was way back, maybe even around 2000. The practice was that architect used to take the complete lead. Now it is not like that. Now things are totally changed. We need we need at least 16. I have listed here 16. When I was practicing in Abu Dhabi, there were nearly 50 to 60 stakeholders on a project who are all experts and who are all equally respected. So that is what is going to be the future. It is not going to be the dominance of an architect to manage anything and everything. It is so many people are involved in taking decisions, especially we are talking about a whole level housing, the politicians, the PMC consultants, architects, BAM expert, structural engineers, quantity surveyors, specification writer, the contractor, sustainable expert, MEG expert, safety expert, life cycle analysis expert. Like this, there are so many, there are much more than this depending on the project. I just listed quite a few. So all these people, they come on a common data platform. It is cloud based, and every information is available on that cloud platform, wherein people can pick up the details and have their opinion in the form of making models. Everything is making model and also document. It is not the drawings or anything like that, and nothing is directly connected. And this common data environment or the platform is controlled by somebody who can give access to the only relevant people. It is not going to be for everybody. So it depends. It depends who needs the details or the drawings for them to continue or comment or have their opinion. And it happens, everything happens online. And these projects, whatever projects that we undertake, need not be controlled only from a city. It can be controlled from any corner of the world, because everything is cloud based. Every detail and data are all available, and you can take the real opinion of people who are experts. So thereby the design gets totally refined, totally updated with experts involvement. This is going to be the future. It's not going to be like how we were practicing. This is what we have to realize at least at this level, and pick up the speed which the other developed countries have already shown. So these are the various level of inputs using software into BIM process. Data collection, and I have named almost all the softwares required at each level. Data collection, Civil 3D, Autodesk, Recap, Open Roads, akka, everything. And then we have the site conditions. See, usually the site is just shown to the architect or the team for which there is a general the decisions are taken. It's not going to be like properly analyzed. So here it is not going to be like that. Future is not going to be like that. The site, it will be totally analyzed to the real bottoms, to the real last detail. The site will be totally understood. I think there was a lot of discussions on these aspects, and already in this conference, and based on that, we have to understand that these things will happen, will fall in place just by following this process and the system of BIM. Then the client requirement. See, client requirement based on the data collection and the site condition. The client, with the advice of a board or with his own advisors, will form an employer's information requirement document. That document is going to be the base for everybody to understand the requirement which was decided. Based on that, the changes will not be allowed. The changes need not be considered. Based on the document, everything will be going on. To my experience, it was not like that. When we were practicing, there used to be changes from everybody around. There used to be suggestions, there used to be demand, and we were not able to avoid it. So these things will be avoided on the basis of a proper system and discipline that is enforced by the system of BIM. Design inputs with quantity analysis. See, there is nothing like everything is taken for granted. It is going to be very specific. Design will follow a proper process, which will be explained in the next few slides, and then there is proper analysis of the quality, of the quantity, or whatever details that it requires at the preliminary stage. It is not going to be like at the final stage. It's going to be the preliminary stage. We will know what is the cost, or what is the quantity of steel, cement, everything required. And then this stage, architecture, structure, and MEP drawings are to be done, and we are going to use the software as seen in the slide. Then it is then during the design stage itself, we are going to have the sustainability factors checked, and these inputs will enrich and give more value to the design. Then the schedule of the project. These are all the Synchro, 4D, and Akka softwares, and all. They are all the softwares which we have to use at this stage. And these detailing, scheduling of the project will ensure time is money. We are going to stick to the time, and it's going to be properly designed, properly decided, and it will go according to the schedule. Then it is tendering process and billing, for which these softwares, Planary, BEP, and ER plays a very important role. One of it, I mean, not everything. Out of all the software which I have shown, one can be considered and used. Then it is facility management and asset management. Once the process of billing and everything happens, that means the project has almost been completed. And then comes the facility management stage, and then the asset management stage. Facility management stage, we will exactly know by time that everything is all right within the building, and if there is any change, that detailing will also be loaded onto the model which is already there. So based on this, it becomes an asset. It doesn't become an liability, which is what is happening in the 99% of the structures, at least in India. All the assets that we have, we are all liabilities. They want, get me water, get me electricity, clean my garbage. These questions will not be there when you make a model which defines everything, and once it goes through the facility management, the value engineering that applies there will make it a real asset. So it is not, for these two, Ecotermus is one of the, and UBIM, they are the two softwares which can be used. So this is the inputs, the level of inputs that gets into the project before it becomes an asset. Please mind my words. All the projects that we have done, I will show you some of the projects which I have already also done, are not demanding everything from nature, everything from the government, everything from people around. But once you go through this process in BIM, everything becomes an asset, and that detailing, that maintenance capability can be carried forward at least for about 50, 60 years to 80 years, and it can be extended. Lifespan can be extended because we have gone through the discipline of making a building, which was not so when we practice, and now the practice system will change, at least for the future generation. So this is the site. Now I'm going to explain to you the certain things, how the inputs would go on. So project site modeling and infrastructure modeling. So there is a video here. I don't know whether we have time. I have about 43 videos, which I don't think I'll be able to project everything. But if anybody is interested, please call me, take my number, and I am open for sharing the knowledge that I have recently acquired after coming back from my practice in Abu Dhabi. And I am now very much available to see that my next generation gets a better detailing, better advice to ensure that they give us quality buildings. Anyway, I'll try to play this video.
Every project starts with a concept. Being able to visualize the project concept in a 3D contextual environment allows all stakeholders to understand the project from the very beginning. It all starts in InfraWorks by using Model Builder to define the site and begin the data aggregation process. Understanding the existing conditions of the site is key. Traditional methods of capturing existing conditions can be time-consuming, but by using the drone to design workflow, which includes Autodesk Recap, you can collect existing conditions data faster while maintaining accuracy. This workflow allows you to take advantage of real-time, up-to-date imagery and existing ground topography that has been generated from the point cloud. This data is key when making engineering decisions for the project. To further enrich our context model, you can take advantage of the Autodesk connector for ArcGIS. This allows us to further populate our model with rich GIS data. This data can represent existing utility locations, FEMA floodplain data, and soils data as examples of information that will help us to make design decisions in the preliminary stages of the project. Focusing on preliminary design and with our context model populated with rich GIS data, we are ready to run specific types of analysis, such as watershed analysis, which will help to better understand stormwater management.
Sorry to disturb, sir, in between. There is no video, sir, only the audio is that which we can hear.
1 minute. We are trying to adjust.
With the presentation, sir.
Yeah, we are trying to.
An alternative. There are times you will need to verify your GIS.
We can hear it, sir, but the presentation has only, on the screen it's showing only presentation screen, sir. Project site modeling and infrastructure modeling. Just wanted to confirm, sir, is it just the audio?
No.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sorry for disturbing, just wanted to inform.
This particular video, I think you heard it, is just about how important it is for us to get the details from the site. Research on the detail on the site has been given the utmost importance to really get the best out of the site for the project. That's it. Anyway, I'll try to go to the next level. So this is project site modeling and other details. And as I earlier I told that REBA has fixed a standard how this format has to be, the design format has to be, the execution format, the facility management and the asset management format. Based on that, it is rated at 0. But everywhere, everything cannot be accepted. It is their suggestion, and each country has their own standard. Each country will have their own standard based on which they have been practicing. And then there is a video here also. It is geotechnical modeling, which is very, very important to understand what is happening below the building. And this detail that all that we have is on the model itself, wherein you will be able to see the people who are on the common data platform will be able to download and understand what are the basics of this site. And then it is and then there is no time. I think we need to rush. So this is a laser scanning that gets into the site to extract more detail. Laser scanning is nothing but an instrument which can capture lakhs of data points, and from the point data, it will be converted into the model, wherein the person who is involved in design can take a proper decision. And then we have the site condition. We study the site properly. We have analyzed the site properly. And then based on the existing condition, we also think about the other aspects of the design. And then we have to work out the area and space program validation. See, each room, each detailing will have a proper calculation, and this is run through and proper software to understand. Say if it's a classroom, say say if it is an entrance to a very important stadium, or could be anything for that matter. There is proper analysis, and then it has to be validated. Simulations would be provided for people to validate, for people to understand that every size that has been fixed is proper. And then we have the existing building rapid energy modeling. So this is something that is required for us to start the project. We have the basic scheme, and then we should know how much electricity it needs, how much power it needs, how much water it needs, what is the garbage that it generates. Based on this, a lot of other design decisions should be taken, and it will be taken based on this format. And then area and space program validation, which is I think almost the same. And then finally, the client gets a proper picture to sign what he requires, based on which the project would start. So this is proper documentation. If not, there is no, we are not recording the details or documenting the details that he expected from the project. It will be usually about 40 to 50 page document, which will be the basis for everybody. And that document will carry up to 2,100 or whatever it is. It will be a part of the model. So then immediately, once all these details are given, there are a lot of alternatives that pops up from the software that I have already named. So based on the different options, then we come to when we give the options, which is usually the habit, we can think that we are at LOD 100. After several meetings in between the stakeholders of affordable housing, there is a clarity of basic requirement of the proposed housing project, based on which, after a proper research on the site condition, different options are considered for discussion to select. Then there is something coming out, and people will come into a conclusion. They all fall in one design and detailing. So these are all some of the. This is one of the project which was recently completed. It took about 15 years to complete. Before I went to Abu Dhabi and started my practice, I had designed this building, and it recently, about 2-3 months back, it got inaugurated by the housing minister. It is about 62 crore work, and it is about 485 different type of apartment. Anyway, these are all the level at which we would have reached. This is architectural modeling, LOD 200. Why I have put these drawings is that to show that this is what we have achieved, what is possible in our office. This is LOD 200. Only architectural design with basics of calculations, with basics of structures. It is LOD 200. Okay, and then after the architectural modeling is done, then it is that is actually a significant level. It is called architectural twin model, but the real significant level will come ahead. Then comes the cost. There is a particular software which will define the exact cost of the project, and then we have this MEP drawings which are all related, and then the lighting calculations, simulations, and validation from experts, from the whole stakeholder, whole team will take place. And then we have energy modeling, sun studies, and daylighting. These are all certain things which you all know, which is all not so much to be discussed, because we are discussing about a BIM system, which is so totally separate, not to be, this particular aspect may not be detailed here. And then we have the structure. After all these things, we have a proper structural analysis to ensure all the parameters of a safe structure is decided. Then it is the other safety matters which are all related and which are all including the interior designs. It is not that we will design the building and then think about the interiors. Even the interiors would be totally finalized, and based on this, all these detailings, there is a situation wherein we may not be sure about what is happening on this site, on the design of the site or whatever it is. So we go through clash avoidance and detection, and it will be usually it is not done when we are practicing. Everything is separate drawings. We will not know what is happening, where it is clashing. But there is a particular software which can detect and which can avoid such problems. So then model checking. There are various models which are to be simulated and checked, and this is what is going to be available now as a full data. So this is then comes the construction drawing production. Actually speaking, drawings are not to be printed, but the construction drawing has to be extracted from the model, directly from the model. All these drawings will be made available on iTabs, on mobiles or laptops. It will be in such a way that people need not carry the drawing. Everything will be available online, and they will be able to access. So then this model, this level is also a significant level of LOD 300. After completing all the design process according to BIM standards, consisting of all required detailed design models and simulation, it is called design twin model of the proposed affordable housing. Then comes the tender document processing, for which we need the tender document, and then we call for a tender, and then we shortlist the contractor, then we select the contractor, and then we go through a proper contract document. This is also on a particular software. I think I have named it earlier. Then comes the field. That is, once all these documents are all ready, we just get into the field, and there is construction managers. There are a lot of people involved on the site, and they have to make a lot of decisions. So these are all the what's going to happen after LOD 350. Then this is I think is another. This I want to play a very cute video of robotic dog. It's called robotic dog. Are you hearing? Is everybody hearing? This was a cute video of robotic dog, which can extract the information when the project is going on. It can calculate it will help you in billing. So let me be very short. It is one of the most recent addition to the BIM system, and it is there are various models available. It's a very costly thing, not available at least now in India, but it is going to be there, and it is one of their most useful things which will come to the next generation. So then we will have the shop drawings from various other subcontractors, and then these shop drawings have to be properly coordinated. And then we are going to have, these are all the field activities which I'm trying to explain in brief. Because of the time available, I'm trying to rush through. These are all the site safety reviews. All these things are around all these softwares which are indicated here: Autodesk, Navisec, and Vico, and Synchro. And then we have the scheduling and logistic for construction. See, even the material on the site, when it has to come, how it has to be stocked, how it has to be used, how it has to be processed, everything is decided on this logistic software, which will define exactly. It will cut a lot of unnecessary wastage and cut the expense. This is how this become the most efficient when it comes to money, when it comes to quality, when it comes to utility. It will be the most efficient because of the system. So these are all the softwares involved: Autodesk, Synchro, and Vico again. And this is the view of big room. It is also called war room. Constructability review coordinates. See, when the meeting is going on, there will be an office within the site. It is usually what can be transported. Like, it is going to be a 40-foot container wherein all these facilities are available for meetings to happen. Wherein people will go through VA, virtual, all those meetings, clarifications will happen through various experts who are involved from the design team, from also the execution team. So these are all the special features of this BIM process. So BIM based, this is also called, as I told, also war room, wherein there could be a hearted exchange of words, so that they really fall in line to everything to be logical. So then it is all documentation. Everything. It is not only the model that is getting generated till now. It is also the documents which are parallelly getting generated. You'll be able to read the documents if you are given the access. Wherever it is necessary, to whomever it is necessary, the common data platform will always give the documents required to the concerned stakeholder. Then comes the important stage of as-built model. So whatever changes happens on the site will always again be rebuilt on the model, on the existing model, which will always show the actual happening, actually what has been executed. So this is called LOD 500. Still, it has not reached the significant LOD 550. Okay, this model, which is very, very important, is the starting point for almost the final model, which is going to be significant for the life cycle time, for the complete life cycle. Then these are completed details of the finished affordable housing project, including changes made according to the site condition, the validation of design team. And then commissioning and handover. This is also a very important thing, because there will be other agencies coming in. So it has to be handed over. For facility management, people are entering in, and the owner would like to know whether everything is proper. So it gets validated from the team that is getting it. And these are all the virtual handover. I can play the video, but it takes time. I don't know whether I have time, but we have some interesting videos. After this, we will play that. Important things only are there. So that is commissioned. Then it is commissioned. Then once it is ready, then again this laser scanning will come into picture for billing. So once this laser scan is used, all the required data from the site after it is executed will be available, and these things will also be loaded. All these point loads will also be on the model, which will get enriched, and finally finally, I think these details and the validations and acceptance and and ensuring the security in every respect, all these things are data model. All these things are properly integrated, and this is 550 model. This is the starting point of the 550 model, and this is the digital twin model, which is now globally most of the project has been modeled only up to digital twin model stage, which has complete details for facility management, including maintenance, training program, manual. So this is what for which all these people have been involved, and this is a very significant level of BIM. So based on this, now I shift to other levels which are going to come, which are actually not executed, but it is going to be there in the very near future. So now we have the facility data integration management and 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 training. Yes, this is again and this is 60 level facility management. Facility management during maintenance of the building with all the adjustments and modification done during the affordable housing project are captured and embedded into the model. So this is another level. After 550 level, actually these things will come, and now this value engineering will come into picture. This is where energy and sustainability factors will properly be getting the updation. Will properly, maybe even execution will come at this level based on the certain softwares and certain decisions which has been already taken during the design. So this is life cycle analysis, which is also, and then what is very important is the certifications. There is a lot of people. When I was in Abu Dhabi, it was Istedama. We had taken all those exams, and everything was tuned according to the requirement of the Istedama. Here it is the IDPC involved, and they all will come into the site, whatever has happened as a then the lead reporting. See, a particular model. This is pre-built video and also Revit will help us in submitting the reports, and that is 70 level. This is after all these things are done, then it is an asset. It is not a liability as it is now. In various wherever we are now, colleges, education institutions, they are all become liabilities to Mother Earth and also to the government people around. So based on that, I think we should decide that we have to reach. So these are all the different dimensions of it is already explained to you. And this is 1D is basic research and weather conditions, consulting, data gathering. Then 2D is picture, vector representation, documentation, use and plans. And then it is 3D rendering, walkthroughs, laser scanning, clash detection. And then 4D is virtual construction scheduling, equipment deliveries, virtual validation. And then 5D is quantity extraction, detailed BOQ, and other details. And then 6D is performance, energy and system performance modeling, marketing and certification. And then 70 is sustainability certifications, lead tracking, energy analysis, building life cycle maintenance. This is almost the level at which we can say that we are going to reach. Then you are going to see some nice videos, and yeah, these are all various parameters. Please tell me if you are not hearing or if you are not seeing them. These are all the, like saying, see exactly every day, every Based on that, you people how the project is going on, how the project is falling in line with the schedule, which has been validated by the group, by all the shareholders. This is how the project is developing. A very interesting video. Somehow I could manage it yesterday. The person who helped me with these videos is sitting next to me. It is something which he got it from London. So some of the videos he could not give, but whatever the videos that I got, I'm sharing. It is for people to understand the real commitment that the building shows in giving us the most efficient one. So these are all the explanations, and then it is the 60 mod. Yeah. So this is how the money flows into the project. It is cost. This is also properly designed and decided and properly scheduled. So there should be no problem for the money to be on the site, because if it is delayed, then there are various impacts on the project. So every day payment, every labor payment, material payment, subcontractors payment, equipment payment, everything is scheduled. There is no chance taken at any stage for the building or the project to suffer. So these are all the I think the disciplines which we as consultants and experts have to understand and also master. Anyway, I'll discuss in my conclusion what are the commitments that we may have to take as a group, as a fraternity, which is very, very important considering the future. Even our education has to also change. Just a minute. This is one of the most beautiful video which I got, as I told you yesterday. This is a complete BIM model, completed BIM model. Very interesting video. And this is going to be the last one. Please very keenly observe. If you need, I will play it again. We have time. This is the completed model, which everybody will enjoy throughout the lifespan. You use throughout the lifespan, will properly get all the required details of the project. The detail of the door. You can just go there, click, you will get the complete detail of the door. The dimensions, everything. Complete specification is on the left. The detail of the chair, the specification, the supplier detail, the vendor detail, how much it costed, everything. The kitchen equipment detail, and Toilet details. Yeah. I'm very much thankful to the student of Bim from London who has sent me this detail, this particular video, which I think I'm very much happy that all of you could see and enjoy a final Bim. I had not seen, even though I'm in Bim for a long time, I had not seen this completed Bim model. So what are the uses? I think people would have already understood. Space planning will be perfect. Drawing extraction, quantity takeoff, then proper visualization of the project. Every stakeholder will understand through AR, VR, and so many technologies which are available and so many software which are already there. And then the walkthroughs. Then we will not have any problem on the site, which will escalate the time and also money, clash detection, and coordination. And then the construction sequencing will be proper. The material will not be on the site unnecessarily. It will come only when it is required because of logistic detailing which is already in the market. Then the cost management. Definitely, money is a very important part of any project. So that will be properly managed because of proper detailing on the model. Then the facility management, which is very important. We are talking about affordable housing. Look at how the building will be if we use BIM as a solution, as a discipline of our design, execution, and then facility management and asset management. And then what are the benefits? I'm trying to rush through. Oh, these are all the benefits of BIM process and coordination and collaboration. Then conflict. I think I have explained to you about all these things. These are all some of the general benefits which you might have already experienced, which I have already shown. It is early collaboration. I would like to share one of my experience in Abu Dhabi. When I was there, falling into Istadama municipality requirement was that we would have had a team which is decided, and with the acceptance letter, we used to submit it to the municipality of Abu Dhabi. So they would give us a mark on this. If we have even the contractor, even start designing, the contractor will be on the board for him to give his opinion. The quantity surveyor, the sustainability expert, everybody used to be on the board before we start the project. This is one of the disciplines of BIM. And then the quality and accuracy involved in this process is of very high precision, and it will not be giving chance to anything illogical. And then the production efficiency, once every detail is there, then I think because of the quality of detailing, the production efficiency will be very high. And then clash detection and coordination, which I have already explained, and then minimize the coordination effort. There won't be any clash, there won't be any unnecessary meetings because everything is pre-decided and everything is properly managed, and then detailings will be on the site for execution. Then the asset management, it will really be, as I told you, it will become a real asset and it will not be a liability. I repeat, people have not used this word. It is an asset, it is not a liability. So I use this phrase in this particular meeting for the first time so that people will understand that what we are doing are all liabilities. And then improved client service. I think it is the best service that a client can expect. Of course, at initial stage, there will be expenses because you are spending on the experts, and experts' time and their talent and their treasure has to be taken care. So unless and until it's perfected, it is not possible for us to get this type of property or the asset. So these are all the softwares involved, which I have earlier explained. These are all the vendors, suppliers, and you can choose any of them. Initially, it used to be only Autodesk, and now there are so many softwares. In which one point I would like to stress here, there are two types of softwares in this. One is open software, another one is closed software. Open software is something which can blend with any softwares which are available. Closed software is that you will not be able to proceed and you will have to stick to their company softwares only. So this is a slight disadvantage considering the utility from the places where they work, and also it will not be, may not be uneconomical. It may be uneconomical, I mean. So if it has to be economical, it has to be an open source. And then impact of BIM on construction industry. Now, India, Airport Authority of India, just know the official who was worked in Airport Authority of India was there giving us a lecture. So they have decided that all their construction will be using BIM as a tool. Then the metro projects, railway projects, defense projects, and also the irrigation projects. But still, our affordable, my spelling is wrong, housing is not mandatory, and it will come into place because India has got about like 250 million houses, and then we need another, I think, 1 crore houses, which is going to be built within 2022. And definitely, if it doesn't make it mandatory, all those projects will not become an asset, it will become a liability. It is very important because India is making investment now. India has to take a decision. The government has to understand the importance of BIM and the advantages of the BIM. Unless and until it understands, it is going to again be a waste. I would like to share another of my experience. Before my marriage, 1990, I designed a project, an affordable housing and slum clearance project. Its name also I remember, Hutting Colony. It has been now demolished and a new project has come. It is very heartening because any project, because it is taxpayers' money, this money is getting wasted because we are not producing assets, we are producing liabilities. So what is the government role? There is various responsibilities which you will have to expect the government should take. The government should insist on digital model for all their government projects at first stage, and then for private projects also. Next, the existing building twin model using a point load data by scan to bin technology, further and value engineering allied to encourage green buildings to fight climate change. That's why I was telling BIM can work on all the 17 goals. It can influence all the 17 goals if it is properly used as a tool. Then the tax benefits for the equipment and software related digitization. Few hours back, I wrote all these things for all of us to get together as a fraternity to fight for all these things, to ask the government to give us all these benefits and encourage us to use BIM as a tool. Then the skill development programs for digitization should be intensified because people, the colleges, and there should be private, there should be various levels at which these skill development programs should be allowed to take or should be encouraged to take, so that people will get into this mode as early as possible, so that we will have more people totally involved in the totally skilled to handle to be a team for making efficient projects, efficient assets to our Mother Earth. Our role to kickstart digitalization, we also have a role. We have to get skilled with digital. It is not so difficult. I don't want to really stress on this, because we can understand, we can learn so many things, and this is something similar. It is not that we have to restrict ourselves to only AutoCAD or to Revit. We need to understand and learn various other softwares which are quite simple, and if we fall in place, it is not a rocket science to learn. Then you have to conduct skill development and BIM awareness program among stakeholders. If we are digitized, it will not help. We have to ensure that the complete team is digitized. Unless and until we ourselves encourage our stakeholders, our teammates to learn or to understand, and if you don't share the knowledge of BIM, then it is not going to be a possibility. That is why I think we have stopped at 550. People at that level, it is to go to that level itself, we will not get a proper team. The contractor will not be properly trained, the subcontractor will not be properly trained, the material supplier will not be properly trained, because material supplier has to give the model detail on which can be aligned with BIM model, like a lift, like for lift, for transformer, for so many things which comes as an equipment, or these doors, and all the hardware required. All these things need to be aligned with BIM, so that we can use this from the BIM library to take it to the next level of detailing. Then startups with the earliest with government support. We need to really ourselves get into this mode of giving various services based on this system. And many of us are architects here. I am also an architect. We cannot say that innovations are curtailed because of this BIM. No, I don't think it is. It is true. The tools have changed. See, I was making drawings. I was making perspectives, all the pencil drawing to rotary print drawing, and then I shifted to AutoCAD. Now it is BIM, because to give efficiency, to use the God-given tool, the skill has to be used and incorporated and embedded within us, so that we are equipped to give the assets to Mother Earth, not a liability to Mother Earth. Then we have to trigger internal skill development program. See, we cannot. We have to. We have to ensure that whoever is within the team, within the office, are all knowledgeable about BIM, and it should happen to otherwise also outside. Also, we have to trigger for people to learn. We have to make presentations as I am making, for people to really get in as fast as possible, so that we all know how to make efficient buildings. So now this is our recent find out. We are preparing a report.
Sorry for disturbing, sir. Can we wind up little quickly, sir, so we can have a Q&A session as well?
No, I think this is at the last. I don't think
okay.
I'm definitely on time.
Okay, sir. Okay. You can go ahead, sir. Yeah.
The most important slide, which has come out very because of our own research and all these things. See, we should know that we don't need too much of investment on this project, on getting digitized. First of all, know that the investment required is not too much. One AEC collection, that is from Autodesk, will cost you around 1 to 1.1 lakh. And this can help us up to LOD 500, which is quite significant. It doesn't need any other support. Revit can take us to LOD 500. And then Ecodamas and UBIM, which will cost another ₹130,000, will take us to the end, up to the 550 or even the 60, 70 levels which I showed you. Then the workstation, the sort of hardware that you need may cost you another 130,000. The laser scanner is quite costly, but there are various models available, and India should start manufacturing this in consideration to bring out efficient buildings in India. And then drone is not too costly. All these things put together, it is not more than the cost of a car. And we should know this. In fact, it is my recent find out from the research that I held with one of my friends sitting next to me. from the various vendors, we started inquiring. But it needs people, it needs skill, it needs a lot of adjustments. Anyway, it is a commitment that we have to show with the support of the government. We can take it forward. Our strategy as a community of AECO, see, we as a community, we are about 44, 45 people. Each one of us should put up a strategy plan to digitize our practice. As a startup company, government from MSME has to MSME is giving a lot of support. We have to really understand and really make use of it. We have to skill ourselves and also our stakeholders. We should bring it to the notice of the government the importance of digitization. The national digitization program has to be initiated by experts like us, similar to several European countries, including UK, Australia, Singapore, and other countries. The importance of data generation, processing, storing, properly managing till the life cycle of the project should be our goal in all the projects. Existing project data digitally will be more important to make the most efficient project using value engineering as a tool, which can help all the 17 sustainable goals in one way or the other, in fact, in one way or the other to control the climate change. So these are all the last, this is I think the last, on my conclusion, AECO team leadership involved from data collection to facility management training. That is the last stage. That is the AECO for all architects, engineers, and people involved in construction. It should be taken up as a challenge. BIM is the only platform. There is no other platform. There is no monarchy. There is no hierarchy. There is nothing like that. BIM is the only platform that gives full scope to deliver an efficient, green, intelligent, sustainable buildings. New generation AECO team has to master BIM. It is not only architects, it is also engineers, it is also MEP experts, it is also the contractor, it is also the material supplier, it is also the facility managers, it is also the asset management, and it is also the client. It is also the client, very, very important, because client should understand the big advantage of using BIM, that because he has to create an asset. So I think Kirti ma'am should be happy. I am exactly on time. Thanks to all of you for having given.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for such a wonderful session.
I am open for discussion.
Yes, sir. If now I would like to have the Q&A session. We are open. So any questions you can please ask.
I remember to have undergone a meeting wherein I had made it very, very interactive. Here there was no opportunity.
And, yes, sir. I feel the same, sir.
I involved all hundreds of students into the discussion. Here there was no possibility. I enjoyed at least sharing what I know. So
yes, we enjoyed it too, sir.
Please kindly openly discuss. We have only 15 minutes because Madam has got commitment of end the session, to end the program. In fact,
there's a question in the chats. Can you please read it, or should I? So, sir, referring to the input levels into BIM process, is it possible that local bodies, authorities, be enabled with a complete package for detailing out various projects with capacity at local levels? This was a question.
Very good question. I think I know you. You are from Oxford College, and this is my experience. I was as I told you, I practiced in Abu Dhabi for about 9 years, and still my office is there. But the very important thing is, every authority, the municipal authority of Abu Dhabi expects a BIM model, expects the complete inputs according to the BIM standard. And RIBA plays a very important role. They also follow the RIBA regulations. So the authorities are definitely getting an opportunity to understand what is going on in the site. Every pipe detail, every wire detail, every hardware detail will be in the authorities' concern. And there will be experts from the authorities also, structural experts, MEP experts, who will go through all our drawings, who will validate. Without that, nothing will move forward. We want to see if the country, if the government engineer doesn't come to the site. I have observed, I have the experience of waiting for the government engineer to come to reach the site months together. Sometimes he will not be available, he will have gone on a holiday, and we have waited months together, ready for the execution, ready for erection of or the casting of this plan. So it is quite a, it has been already done, and it should come to India also. Here, what we do submit and what we do, I don't want to talk about it. It is a big joke. So authorities, let me not comment on the bureaucracy or the political setup. Anyway, I hope I have answered the question.
I request
Thank you, sir.
Anjali Sharma, who
Yes, sir.
posted the question, to just respond to that. Are you okay, Anjali Sharma, madam?
Yeah. Hello, sir. Absolutely. Thank you. And really, congratulations, sir. I think you're doing a great job by pushing this cause, with so much of, actually detail and information. Thank you. And for us, for me, it's been very overwhelming, because this is something which is very kind of new, and one has to understand how it can bridge the design and the project management aspect. So thank you for enlightening.
It is not new, it is as old as I am. Because 1963, the thought has started, the thought process has started, but now it has been already used and it is already old by other countries. But in India, we need to see our country has to come, has to develop on the proper lines. So the government has to understand. So this is a small opportunity for me to. This was a small, a good opportunity, not small opportunity, big opportunity, because I'm sharing it with the leaders, the real leaders from my fraternity, the real professors and people who are enlightened, people with experience, and talking. Please, all of you, take it as a cause to take it forward. This very, very important aspect, people are neglecting, people are trying to avoid, people are trying to postpone to learn all these things. At my age of 60, I have not mastered, I have got into this, and I will remain with this till I stop my practice, or I stop my breath. I will share, I will also practice. This is my statement to the gathering here.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I would like to ask everybody to please switch on your cameras for the screenshot. Sir, if you can please stop sharing the screen. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. So as we come to the end of the session, let's start with the valedictory function for the FDP program. I would like to invite the Chief Coordinator of the program, Professor Kirti Vinay Kumar ma'am, to address the gathering.
Good evening, all. I'm very glad to share that we have successfully completed the 5 days FDP on SDG 11, safe and affordable housing and sustainable transport systems in India, in collaboration with COA-TRC, Bhopal chapter. I'm thankful to the convener of the program, Dr. Navneet Munot, for all his timely support and guidance throughout the program. I appreciate his quick response during my interaction with him. My sincere thanks to all the resource persons for sharing their insightful and enlightening presentations and for their valuable time and their kind cooperation. I must appreciate their punctuality for keeping up their time slots. Last but not the least, I must thank all the participants for having spared their valuable time for 5 days with us and for having a great interaction with all of us. I'm sure there has been an enormous knowledge sharing, learning, and lot of takeaways for each one of us. In short, I thank one and all for being part of this FDP and making it a grand success. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, ma'am. I would now like to invite the convener, Dr. Navneet Munot, sir, Honorary Director, COA Training and Research Center, Bhopal Chapter, to deliver the concluding report. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Professor Jana. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Yes. So, Namaskar. On behalf of the Council of Architecture, New Delhi, I, Dr. Navneet Munot, Honorary Director, COA-TRC Bhopal, would like to present the concluding report as well as offer my sincere thankfulness to all the stakeholders who are the part of this 5-day faculty development program on Sustainable Development Goal 11, Safe and Affordable Housing and Sustainable Transport System in India. This national online faculty development program focused on the affordable housing and sustainable transport, land supply as a key driver, and climatography for sustainable development, inclusive city, green feature, and alternative approaches for affordable housing, enhancing building thermal performance in the hill area, and techniques of time like BIM. The first day of this program was started as per schedule on 6 December 2021. Dr. Pawan Kumar spoke about affordable housing and sustainable transport learning experiences. He shared his experiences in housing in the difficult terrains of Uttarakhand and Andaman. He also spoke of the factors taken into account in housing in place of high land value and slum area. He also gave insights of affordable housing and transportation as a technological journey and unmanned metro in Delhi and Bombay. The session 2 was very insightful on land supply as a key driver for affordable housing by Dr. Rama Subramaniam. She shared the perspective on the comparison of affordable housing scenario in India as well as in abroad. She also compared the regulatory system and touched upon pros and cons of enabling the public participation in housing. In the third session of the second day, Dr. Anirudh Pawar took the session on climatography for affordable housing in India. He shared an informative presentation on his experience in preparing climatically oriented recommendations for various climatic zones of India. The legislation and implementation of ECBC and GRIHA were touched upon. He touched some of the climatically appropriate technique used for sustainable housing. Our fourth session speaker was architect Vijay Narayanpati, who took a session on inclusive city, making sense of sustainable mobility in Indian streetscape. He gave an enlightening presentation on the experience he had in the design and redesign of some of the nodes and junction in Bangalore, including the Nehru Park precinct. He spoke of an inclusive city where the vendors, and socio-economic journalists together had a say in the design, contribution of urban design of or architects. Green feature in affordable housing was taken by architect Kirti Sahu in the session 5 on day 3 of the program. He explained through the presentation on different case studies of affordable housing with green and sustainable feature in India. He also touched upon passive methods, solar walls, local low energy, material, and waste management. He also discussed on the alternative materials and construction techniques. The sixth session by Dr. Satish Papralia gave an insightful presentation on alternative approaches to affordable housing. He has highlighted the affordable housing scenario in India, the control parameters, the supply and demand issue of affordable housing, private development models, etc. The first session on day 4 on sustainable transportation and architects, zooming into micro from a macro perspective by architect Ashwin Panigar. He discussed in detail on the Singapore and Dubai transportation system with the sustainable and affordable aspect of them. The next session conducted by Dr. Achal Sharma, who gave an informative presentation on enhancing building thermal performance in the hill of Uttarakhand through native green roofing retrofitting system. She also discussed on the green roofing system under different condition of Uttarakhand as an ongoing research in detail. It was highly informative and insightful. Dr. Mona Lisa Bhardwaj gave a presentation on transportation system and sustainability paradigm for the future cities. It covered an introduction to transportation system, sustainability parameters, case studies on specific indicators was covered in the session 9. Today, that is the final day of the faculty development program, has been concluded by architect Laxmi Prasad, who discussed the technique of time, that is BIM, for affordable housing in India. We are really glad that we could conduct this 5-day faculty development program as per its original schedule, in spite of the difficult time that we all are witnessing across the world today. And for the same, I heartily congratulate all of you for the amazing efforts that you have taken and the sheet will you have displayed for making this program an enriching one. On behalf of TRC Bhopal and Council of Architecture, New Delhi, I congratulate and thankful to all the program coordinators. And my special thank goes out to Professor Kirti Vinakumar for taking all the responsibility from last 3 months to coordinate this 5 days program by consistently taking some time out from her busy schedule. In the last but not least, I would thank all my staff, delegates, and experts who were the part of this event. Thank you. Thank you, all of you. Over to you, Janda ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. As we come to the end of the session, I would like to call upon Architect Benny, sir, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Hello. Yes. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. It gives me a lot of pleasure to be delivering the vote of thanks. Respected convener, Dr. Navneet Munot, dear colleagues, distinguished speakers of the day, and all audience at this August gathering. I am honored to be presenting the vote of thanks to the distinguished speakers of the day and all the speakers of the 5-day FDP program. My special thanks to Dr. Mona Lisa Bharadwaj for sharing her learning experience on transportation systems and sustainability paradigms for the future cities. On behalf of the audience and the organizers, I also wish to thank architect Laxmi Prasad for his inspiring talk on BIM for affordable housing. I wish to thank Dr. Navneet Munot, our convener, for his brief and crisp report. The speakers have spared their valuable time for us. We wish to express our sincere thanks for the same. I wish to conclude the day with a quote by Oliver Wendell Holmes. It is the province of knowledge to speak, and it is the privilege of wisdom to listen. I'm sure the audience have been enlightened by the valuable experiences shared by the eminent speakers. Thank you all once again as we close the program on this nice day. Thank you all for making this event a grand success. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I wanted to inform the MCQ test will be there from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. And the link will be shared with all of you as soon as we end this session. In a continuation to that, the feedback form will be shared by the end of the MCQ test. I request all of you to please fill the same. Thank you all once again on the behalf of Oxford School of Architecture. Thank you for all your support, participation to make this program a huge success. We shall wind up the session for the day. Thank you so much. Have a good evening, all of you.